What's going on, guys? My name's Spence.
And I'm Mitch.
And we're two brothers that really love King of the Hill. And today we are on season 2, episode 9, The Company Man.
The company man.
Yeah, and this is as someone who's been in sales. I've dealt with goofs like this before.
I've never been in a single career where I had to deal with the public. Never.
You're lucky there. Before I moved into a law enforcement career, I did sales, and let me tell you, I'd much rather deal with criminals and customers any day of the week.
Oh yeah, I mentioned it's got to be bad, but I'm moving into a customer-based industry after I finish school, so we'll see how I do.
Yeah, yeah. I think you'll do fine, but yeah, you got to be prepared because the thing is, like 90% of people are totally great and totally easy to deal with. Those fucking 10% will age you years.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that takes all kinds. Everyone has a certain type that they can't handle, and it's different for everyone.
But we start off the episode here with Bobby doing a Sunday school report on his hero, who is his old man Hank. And I'm pretty sure this is our first introduction to Buck Strickland as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Boy, I can't even remember now, but as far as I can tell, yep.
Yeah, we get introduced to Hank's boss, and he becomes a very important character as time goes on. But another one of those larger than life types.
Yeah, just like Cotton for sure.
Yeah, and I'll tell you this, Ann. I'm thankful I've never had any boss that tried to fucking have meetings while he's taking a shit. But oh man, I couldn't handle that. That's so degrading.
Yeah, that's I think a bit too far for even for me. Oh, you'd excuse yourself if it had gotten to that point.
And not only that, like I wouldn't want people to be in the bathroom with me while I was taking a shit.
Oh, really? My wife's in the bathroom and I'm taking shit all the time.
Oh, okay, yeah, I definitely like my privacy.
No, I have the door wide open usually.
And we get a flashback here to another antagonist that becomes more important as the series goes on.
Thatherton.
Thatherton, yes. And it's funny because I think that in a lot of ways, Fatherton kind of has the right idea over Hank.
100%.
If he wasn't such a greasy piece of shit, I think if Hank went off and started his own propane dealership, he could outsell both of them.
Oh, for sure. But neither of them would play fair and would sink Hank's ship quite quickly, I think.
That's a good point. Yeah, they'd both try and fucking undercut him for sure. But we also learned that Hank has to make a big sale to some sort of very important customer coming in from Boston. They got him in the Cadillac, which is hilarious.
With the longhorns on the grill.
I do imagine that people from Texas have to deal with a lot of stereotypes from people coming in from the North and the East and California and stuff like that about how Texans are and how they view the world, and they think that they're all cowboys and hicks and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that would get tiresome for sure.
Bill's ass fucking sinking into the car.
I think that was a sweat stain.
Oh,
Like a condensation mark.
oh God.
It looks hot out there. We missed Hank's big sales budget.
Yeah, $100, which today is like nothing.
No, doesn't get much. No.
And we get our first glimpse of Mr. Holloway, and he's all dressed up in his cowboy getup. It's like he's wearing a costume.
A 10-gallon hat.
It's a Texas-sized towel.
Yeah, the Texas-sized jokes must get old too, for sure.
And one thing, I've noticed about sales, the people who are successful at it, you have two people. You have the people like Hank who are really passionate about the thing that they sell, and they love it, and they just love giving you all the information. And there's the other people who are just total bullshitters. They'll say whatever the fuck they want. They'll say whatever the fuck they need to get over the finish line.
Chameleons.
Oh, 100%. And unfortunately for Hank, some guy like this who just wants Hank to bend over backwards and doesn't really care about the product that he's selling is like Hank's kryptonite.
I never thought of it like that. That's his anti-customer.
Exactly. But when you are making a purchase, you always want the guy like Hank. You want to get the guy who's super passionate about what he sells and what he cares about because
He'll deliver the best possible product.
exactly, and you can actually trust him.
Look at Hank. He's so confident right now.
Yeah, he's got his system, right? His system that has never failed.
Let me let you in on a little salesman trick. Don't start off with ice cream right away, because if you run into a hitch, you got no place to go.
Words to live by.
Holloway just doesn't give a shit at all about what Hank is trying to sell him. He starts singing the theme song for Dallas.
Dallas is actually a show that I've never seen before.
Yeah, me neither. I can't connect the references that they're making.
It might have been quite popular at the time this aired, though.
Probably, yeah. And it's probably one of those things that everybody thinks, like, this is what Texas is like.
Yeah. Everybody think people in BC live in log cabins.
Yeah. But Fatherton, on the other hand, is the perfect customer for this Holloway guy because he'll just bullshit him to the nth degree. He'll say whatever the fuck he needs to get the sale done. Yeah.
Say what the customer wants to hear.
Yeah, and that's why these two guys get along so well.
Yeah, and if you cared about what you're doing, you'd obviously go with the salesman like Hank.
Hank wasn't able to close the deal, not even with Pie a la mode.
He's out on the construction site now.
Trying to teach him about the wonders of Strickland Propane.
I wish I had an industry that I was so passionate about, like Hank is, for propane.
Yeah, and that's another similarity I feel like between our dad and Hank, is he was in sales too and did very well because he was very passionate about the product that he sold.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Wood beams and wood accessories.
His passion I always found to be inspirational. Absolutely. I can't muster it.
He's trying to once again pitch Holloway on, he's trying to make him visit the construction site and see what they're doing.
He's trying to cover the billboard.
But yeah, I've dealt with guys like Holloway before, and they just are so exhausting because they demand everything from you. And Hank is now bending to what he wants now and starting to sell his dignity in that way, or sell his integrity. And Bobby, of course, is eating up all the bullshit that he says.
That's got to be worse, I feel.
Oh, 100%. But Peggy and Holloway's wife, though, they get along great. They're thick as thieves.
The name of the store is Rhinestone Cowboy. Very fitting.
I didn't even notice that. That's hilarious.
Hank never wears cowboy boots because of his fat toes.
Holloway's trying to get them all suited up.
Then it comes to Sean Redquist. Why are they hanging out?
Yeah, I don't know why they're in the Rhinestone Cowboy, but of course they got to come in and bust Hank's balls.
Look, J.I., an engine and a hillbilly.
Yo, man, call Dr. Scholes, man, 911, man. Y'all look like a dang old horse caught right with that old crap, man, yo.
Peggy struggling to take off the boots. Got the spurs and everything.
I wanted spurs on my boots. Good thing I didn't. Never owned a horse.
Yeah, imagine trying to drive a car with spurs in your boots. You're just gonna like mess up your floor so badly.
I drive a standard to work every day in steel-toe boots, and it's pretty tough.
This would be a tough ask. My wife would never do something like this.
Oh, no, me neither. No way. She's very particular about what she wears.
Yeah, and just wearing something degrading like that, yeah, not a chance.
Nah, it'd be funny just to ask, really. See what happens.
Just to see her face.
The reaction.
And now Bobby's starting to question the bullshit that Hank's feeding him because he can't figure out how he was able to conceive him while he was in a Mexican POW camp.
Oh, man.
And unfortunately, Mrs. Holloway is not joining them because Peggy gave her food poisoning. Peggy ends up wearing a suit that looks exactly like all the waitresses in the steakhouse. I love this little quip here about how it's the home of the largest salad bar and the second largest sneeze guard. And then we get to see it in action.
Fills up on appetizers before the taking on the 72-ounce steak.
And of course, we got to have Dale here also grilling Hank and giving him the gears.
Dale's the best for that.
That is one hell of a steak. Holy crap.
We don't have those in here in Canada. I've never seen a place do steak challenges like that.
Yeah, I've never actually seen it either. And maybe it's because meat is not as cheap as it is in the United States.
Yeah, it's hard for me to see that. Eh? What a waste.
Yeah, no kidding, eh? I, as most guys out there, do love a good steak. And it's really sad to see it go to waste, like you said. Thatherton, he must be following them around because he knows probably that he can steal this customer from Hank.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's how the gray area businessmen do it.
Yep. Yeah, Hank's struggling. He's struggling to keep it together. And I don't blame him because in my position, I don't know if I could do it either.
Now he's going to the strip club. I think I would draw the line there.
Hank here asking for the dollar bills for the G-string. Oh, classic.
And can I have ones, for the G strings?
This episode is a lot of good one-liners. This episode is definitely up there in terms of funny jokes.
It's one that I didn't really care for at all in my first few run-throughs of the show, but now it's great.
Yeah, that's a great point. This is one that's definitely grown on me as I've watched it more and more. And he's trying to make the sales pitch. The stripper fucking right in his face.
Oh, man.
And still doesn't give a shit. Oh, yeah, and this is where he wants a mint julep.
I've never had one before.
Me neither. But he gets confused with a Caesar. But I think they call it something different in the States. It's what, the Bloody Mary, I think? Yeah.
Slightly different, Caesar and Bloody Mary. The only difference is clam.
I don't think they sell that in the States.
And Clamato. Weird stuff. Yeah, hang bonds with stripper.
Yeah. Realizing that they have more in common in terms of their jobs than they thought they did. Which is sad. I guess stripper's selling something. It's just her body.
Stripper's just making way more money.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, they shocked that she makes 6 figures.
They are well compensated, you could say.
Yes. And now Bobby's moved on to Colonel Sanders because he's tired of his dad bullshitting him.
Colonel Sanders is actually a great story.
Yes, he does have a really interesting life. Got the mint julep that he's wondering, what the fuck is this?
Here's your julep, Holloway. Let's talk propane.
Oh, you call this a mint julep? Where's the vodka? Where's the tomato juice?
Oh, mint julep is funny.
Yeah. I feel like probably Mike Judge chose that just because it's got a silly sounding name.
For sure. Sometimes you gotta run with it.
Now Hank's had enough. He's finally calling it, and he's saying, you know what? I can't deal with this bullshit anymore. And then Holloway offers to, he's basically like, oh, those fighting words, now I'm going to fight you.
I always loved this scene, though. This is a great one.
You can tell that Hank, he's definitely been in a few fights before.
And Hank easily catches his punch, which is something I've always wanted to do.
Yeah. That's what I mean when I say he's been in a few fights, because to keep your cool like that and just catch a punch that's coming at you, yeah, you can't do it the first time it happens to you.
No, you get all riled up.
I really like this ending here. I find it really touching.
He ends up using Hank after all.
Yep. He ends up talking about the Mexican POW camp. Oh, man. Funny stuff. Great episode.
Yep, that's a good one for sure.
I think that's a wrap. All right, Mitch, what do you give this one out of 10?
I'm going to go with an 8.5.
Yeah, I think that's pretty solid. I was going to go with an 8, and 8 is great. This is, we talked about, one that has grown on me over the years. And when it comes to the IMDb score, we've got a 7.2 out of 10. So they think it's worse than the last episodes we saw. But,
yeah, IMDb is the general public, though, not King of the Hill fan. Yep, another great episode with many more to go.
And then next week we got Bobby Slam. That's the one where he joins the wrestling team, and Connie also wants to join as well.
Yeah, it's another great lesson to be learned in that episode.
Definitely an interesting cultural touch point.
Looking forward to it.
All right, thank you guys for watching so much.
Awesome. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Take her easy. Bye now.
Even though I was fathered by another man while Mr. Hank Hill was in a Mexican POW camp. Thank you.
Oh.